Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. Not too long ago, I left a poll on the channel for you guys to tell me who the greatest protagonist to the entire Jurassic series was, and it looks like Alan Grant came in first place in a pretty substantial victory. In all honesty, I saw this coming, but I thought that it would be a closer race between Grant and Malcolm than the 40% difference in their votes. That being said, I'd love to see Dr. Grant return. He's such a likable character that's made an impression on so many people that I really believe he deserves to at least make a cameo in a future film in some regard. And who knows, he may just show up in Fallen Kingdom if we're lucky. Whatever the case may be, the fans will eagerly be awaiting for this paleontologist's return. After the massive success of the first Jurassic Park, every company in the world wanted that red and black logo on their merchandise. If you were a kid back in the day, it was impossible to go anywhere without seeing something Jurassic Park related that was luring you in for purchase. Video games, books, trading cards, clothes, and of course, toys were in every store fathomable. Now, the Jurassic Park toy lines were some of the most successful and outright collectible products that the film series ever spawned. All the way up to the days of The Lost World, these human and dinosaur action figures were in high demand from children everywhere. And after the release of the second movie, the Jurassic brand was actually in the process of getting its own animated series that would involve a brand new story titled Chaos Effect. This animated series would have toys produced alongside it and would actually be one of the first times that hybrid dinosaur species would be shown off to the public in the franchise. The real first time would technically be in Topps' Return to Jurassic Park comic books, but their versions of certain creatures wouldn't get anywhere near the same notoriety as the creations for Chaos Effect. The story would basically focus on a group of scientists going back to either Nublar or Sorna in an effort to clone some new dinosaur species. But after they mix up the DNA of various different animals, genetic mutations and weird freaks of nature would emerge and cause havoc for the humans. Speaking of which, the toy line was only able to release human action figures for Ian Malcolm and Roland Timbo before it was cancelled. However, the dinosaur hybrids themselves, being the main selling point, got quite a large amount of odd toys released. Animals like the Amargospinus, Ankyloranodon, Compsognathus, Paradeinonychus, Tanaconda, Velociraptorix, and the Tyrannops were all weird, wild crossbreeds of various different animals that were now being presented as Jurassic Park dinosaurs in commercials on television. I myself owned the Paradeinonychus and the blue Alpha Velociraptor as a kid, but I think that may have been it. I always preferred to own dinosaurs that actually existed than what was featured in this wild new spin-off story. That being said, I do love the designs of most of these creatures and think they would probably have translated into a pretty successful show had everything worked out. Now, despite several of these toys being sold in stores, you may be surprised to find out that several other figures were never released to the public. Creatures like the Stegospinus, Deinonycanus, and Dilophospinus were shelved to never see the light of day. Not every fan was on board with this new direction, so I guess they chose to quit while they were ahead. With all of that being said, if there's one thing that Jurassic Park Chaos Effect is most well known for, it's got to be the creation of the most insane and outlandish dinosaur design that has ever existed within the series. This creature was never released in full to the public, but it did get an infant version of itself packaged in with Roland Timbo in 1998. Its name was the Ultimasaurus, a hybrid that contained the combined DNA of Tyrannosaurus rex, Velociraptor, Triceratops, Stegosaurus, and Ankylosaurus. To say that this was overkill is an understatement. Apparently, this guy wasn't allowed to be sold in stores because its horns were too sharp and could possibly have hurt children if they ever played with it too rough. It didn't help that the toy line sold quite poorly when compared to the figure sales for Jurassic Park and The Lost World. So after just a year of being on toy shelves, that was it. The line and television series were promptly cancelled and left uncompleted. Despite all of this happening, many fans still recognize and appreciate to some degree how wild and outlandish the Jurassic series can really be. A good video to really dive into the lunacy of some of these ideas was done by Terradome 3000, where Jack actually talks about a robotic android that was supposed to appear on the show with a gun coming out of his elbow. This is Jurassic Park history we're talking about here, as crazy and downright ridiculous as that may sound. In retrospect, I can see what the idea was going for, but I just don't think it could ever really have worked. I think hybrid dinosaurs like the Indominus Rex worked much better with audiences and critics because it made sense in relation to the story of a theme park that wanted a sales boost. It also didn't have a frill, horns, spikes on its tail, or armor plating down its back, so the believability of its existence was a much easier pill for the average filmgoer to swallow than the Ultimasaurus itself would be. Out of curiosity, I'd like to know what all of you think about Jurassic Park Chaos Effect. Do you enjoy the designs and color schemes to these hyper dinosaurs, or are you one of the people that thought that this was the series jumping the shark, so to speak? Would you like to see the animated series that was planned with this project, or are you happy that it was buried and left for dead? Whatever the case may be, let me know in the comments down below, guys. I'm really interested to hear what you all have to say. Now, before I go, I want to thank my game wardens, as well as my InGen executives, including our newest member, Nicholas Brown. I'd also like to thank my park workers and InGen hunters as well. Nate Milley and Jay Weber, it means the world to me that you guys have chosen to support the channel this way, and it's super awesome to have you all help me build this thing up and make it bigger and better than ever before. Now, I'd like to thank you all for watching this video and hope that you all enjoyed today's content. If you feel like I deserved it, I'd appreciate the like and hope that you'll consider subscribing if you're interested in hearing from me again. I'll see you all in the next video, guys. And as always, take it easy.